Thank you. Good to see you. It's been a while. My name is Jeroen Spiewak. I'm the musical director today. And this is Emily Golia. We're going to start the morning with a song with a little bit of Healing the World. There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place could be much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry. In this place, you'll feel there's nothing hurt but sorrow. There are ways to get there. If you care enough for the living, make a little space, make a better place. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me.
If you want to know why, there's a love that cannot lie. Love is strong, it only cares for joyful giving. If we try, we shall see. In this bliss we cannot feel fear or dread. We stop existing and start living. Then it feels that always love's enough for us growing. Make a better world, make a better world, heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. You and for me. You and for me. You and for me. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to try a song called I Release and I Let Go. You guys are welcome to stand up and join if you know it. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But no, I can say that if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say. Let's see you guys getting up. Come on. I release and I let go. Let my spirit drown my life. And my heart is open wide. Yeah, it's only up for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light.
I am free in the spirit. It's only I've, come on, let's do it one more time. I release and I let go. Let my spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. That's right, it's only I've forgotten. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the spirit. It's only I've forgotten. Let my spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, it's only I've forgotten. All right, you guys rocked it.
Yaron Spiewak building the energy in the house. You guys feeling it?
All
Good,
right.
I love it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles in what is considered one of the holiest days in the city of Hollywood, Oscar Sunday. So I'm so happy that you all took time in your schedule for not only springing forward today, but also choosing to be present as this day rumbles about in this city of the anticipation of what is to happen in the world. And so we know here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles that what's to happen in the world is a result of how we use our creative power, because we're all co-creators in our own universe, right? Yes. All right, coffee and cakes in the back. We'll see you guys in 4 Sundays. No, just kidding. So I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox. I'm the spiritual leader here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. And it's my honor and privilege to welcome all of us into the space, whether it's in person and live today. Wouldn't be so good if you weren't live in person, but I'm glad we're all live in person. And then those of you that are joining us via technology, and let's say a big hello to those watching on YouTube, because we are now on YouTube Live along with Zoom. And so a big hello to all of you that are joining us. And for those of you that are coming into the room right now, a big hello to you as well. And to know that in this philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the science of mind, that we believe that you are in the perfect and right place, right where you are in this very moment. And that's not because you're in this room with all of us, even though we appreciate you being in this room with all of us, but it's because you carry the power and the presence of the divine with you everywhere you go. And its innate nature is that of perfection. And so therefore, wherever you are, it is thus perfection is making itself known as the divine right expression, as it is as you. And that's by means of each and every one of us as you. And so let's take a moment, whether you're joining us virtually or in person, to say hello to each other. But those of us here in person have the opportunity to look each other in the eye and say hello. So let's all do that for a second.
Hello, Keith.
Hello, Yaron. Hi, Philip. Hi, Anne. And so I decided in this act of saying hello that we could do this in the most human of way possibles, as we just did saying hello, where oftentimes online we do that through the act of engaging in the Sanskrit act of namaste. Namaste is, in its most literal meaning, is I bow to you. And I didn't want to put you all in positions of bowing to each other this early on in the service. Figured we would do that much later. But with that said, it does set a tone, and I'd like for us to set that tone as we begin to move into this place today of opening up to letting Spirit run our life, as Yaron sang with that beautiful Byers Beckwith song of, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. No more struggles, no more strife. I have let faith guide me to see the light. Today we all come together for the purpose of not only seeing that light, but being the light. And so I invite us all to be open to that today as we move about this service. We are a community known as the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, and yes, we meet in a very sacred home called Congregation CSL-LA. I love this space, and as I see Philip looking around the room at the words on the ceiling here, or the upper walls, it's very much in keeping, this place here, with our philosophy, faith, and way of life, which is that we are here to express love. We are here to feel joy. We are here to acknowledge the eternal, and we're here to be the blessing. Those are all elements of the faith of Judaism here. That's the way it's taught at Congregation CSL-LA. And we teach very similar concepts and spiritual truths here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, a community that's come together for over 30 years now here in the land of Los Angeles, for the sole purpose of not only giving individuals an opportunity to make a difference in their own lives, but to make a difference in others' lives. We do that by engaging in our vision statement, which is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. That spiritual awakening is a remembrance of who and what we are as divine beings. Dr. Ernest Holmes created the science of mind. Many would say he actually let the power of the divine reveal that through him. And in this philosophy, faith, and way of life, the principles or the premises are that there's only one thing taking place at all times. Now that in and of itself is a big idea, right? But that one thing is the divine doing its thing. And that as we individualize that power, source, the thing itself, also known as that three-letter word, God, as we individualize it, then we use it in a way that it appears to be personal. But the power itself is impersonal. And the laws of life that we exist by respond to us by corresponding to our state of thought, which then ultimately leads to our state of beliefs, which then ultimately leads to our consciousness. And it's our consciousness that shows up in the world of effect, what we're experiencing right now. So what does all of that mean? It all means that if we want our lives to be different than they are right now, then it's up to us to change our thinking, ultimately changing our life. What we like to teach here, and one of the things that brings me great joy in teaching that philosophy here, is that to break it down into a very fundamental, foundational way to do that, while pushing you to the edge to where your brain hurts in the same process. And so my goal is to make your brain hurt, while at the same time understand practical applications of this way of living, so that ultimately we get to experience life in a better way than we did before individually. And because we're all interconnected, we get to do that collectively as well. And so today, that's what's going to unfold, right? Yeah. Does your brain hurt yet? Well, so who said yes? I like it. So we're just about to get started on that. We like to open our service every Sunday morning with, well, before I do that, I just want to take a moment and acknowledge that Yaron is back in the house. So happy to have Yaron here.
Good to see you. It's been 3 years almost.
It's been 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, in person.
I know. And you've been on quite the journey since then.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time in Israel.
Yes.
So good. So welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah. So, and Yaron has with us today, he's brought along a guest musician, Emily Golia, who's just fabulous. She's already sang one song for us this morning, and there will be more. So we're all in for a treat. So, calling in the light. In our philosophy and faith and way of life, known as the science of mind, light is spoken of often, as it is many faith-based traditions. The purpose of this particular ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning a more conscious awareness of our oneness. So let that sink in for a second. There's a lot to unpack just in that statement. The purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. And so today, we're called, each and every one of us as we call in the light, to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, take that in again, all peoples and all faiths. All sentient beings come from the one great universal presence which we call spirit. That fundamental elementary way that I spoke of a moment ago that I like to encourage us to do is to begin to approach each and every expression of life, honoring and acknowledging the qualities of the divine that we're all imbued with. All imbued with. Their peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. Typically in our philosophy, faith, and way of life, we use spiritual mind treatment, an affirmative prayer, to create a shift in our thinking so that ultimately we create this shift in life. Today, before we light the candle, I would like to use as a guide for us that which is called the reverse of the St. Francis prayer. It's titled, Lord, do with that word whatever works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, something to look at. Lord, make me a channel of disturbance. The reverse St. Francis prayer. It's a call for us to step into action in life and to use the innate power that is within us. If it feels comfortable for you, I invite you to close your eyes as you hear this. Lord, make me a channel of disturbance. Where there is apathy, let me provoke. Where there is compliance, let me bring questioning. Where there is silence, may I be a voice. Where there is too much comfort and too little action, grant disruption. Where there are doors closed and hearts locked, grant the willingness to listen. When laws dictate and pain is overlooked, when tradition speaks louder than need, grant that I may seek rather to do justice than to simply talk about it. Disturb us, O Lord, to be with as well as for the alienated, and to love the unlovable as well as the lovely. And so as I light this candle, representing the calling in the light, and being a symbol that it is indeed present within us, Emily and Yaron will take us through the chant, O Holy Light, and I invite you to let them guide you to sing along.
I am holy light. I am holy light. I am holy light. I am one with God. I am perfect health. I am perfect health. I am perfect health. I am one with God. I am strength and love. I am strength and love. I
Applause is a good thing. We like applause here in this teaching, right? You like applause?
Love applause.
I love applause. If you think about it and looking at it through the lens of our teaching, we are taught, and I've been speaking on this for the last few weeks, of the power of the affirmative use of our spoken word. We're audible beings, right? And so a large portion of our humanity, and we know that our many sentient beings that don't walk on two legs, respond to the vibrational frequency of sound. I was going to say noise, but sound is a better term, right? So when we use our voices, we're trained to tell ourselves how beautiful we are, as the lyrics of that song just spoke of, and how powerful we are. Applause is another level of that, right? So it makes sense that if we're in tune with our innate nature of propagating good, then receiving good as applause is really critical in life, right? So it also means that maybe we should stand in front of the mirror occasionally and just applaud ourselves, right? So everyone, let's applaud yourselves. It just automatically brings a smile to your face, which then engages us in the resonance field of the qualities of the divine. Peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. I know you guys think, God, is he going to stop using those qualities? No, I'm not. Because every chance I get, I want to remind us all that that's who and what we are. The song you're about to sing for us, Emily, is in complete alignment with that, right? Is there anything the two of you would like to tell us about yourselves or Emily before we go into the song, or do you just want to move right into the song? You're new with us, so we don't know a lot about you. But you're a performer, obviously. I know you have great credits. I saw them. I wish I had written them down to share them. But
I'm so put on the spot right now.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Hello, I'm a performer.
I'm so sorry. Unfortunately,
Here's
that
an
is one of my
interesting fact.
weaknesses. So.
I have a fact.
Okay.
Do you want a fact?
Sure. I love facts.
This next song I'm going to sing, I actually sang in front of the woman who sang it. Can I say what song I'm going to sing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to sing Beautiful by Christina Aguilera. And she did this like masterclass. Have you heard of the masterclass series?
Yeah.
I was one of her students.
Yay.
And like had to sing this song in front of her. And it was a lot, but it was great. She responded really well. And her note to me was to connect with it more. And then I sang it a second time and actually listened to the lyrics and was better at singing because of listening to what the lyrics are.
That's
you know?
fantastic.
Yeah, I am bright red telling that story.
I love
my
it.
God.
So you did better the second time than the first, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's give her applause for that.
Oh,
Right? All right, well, I know that this time it's just going to be you as perfection, no matter how it shows up, right? No
Thank
matter
you for
how.
that.
We're going to applaud that that's true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between and beyond, Emily Olia singing I Am Beautiful. How are you? Good to see you. How are you guys?
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. And now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. I am beautiful in every single way. Words can't bring me down. No, no. So don't you bring me down today. Oh, 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 oh. To all your friends, you're delirious. You're so consumed in all your doom. You're trying hard to fill that emptiness. The piece is gone. Let the puzzle's undone, but that's the way it is. And you are beautiful no matter what they say. Words can't bring you down. No, no. You are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring you down, no. So don't you bring me down today. No matter what we do, no matter what we say, we'll sing the song inside the tune of beautiful mistakes. And everywhere we go, the sun will always shine. And tomorrow we might wake up on the other side. 'Cause we are beautiful no matter what they say. Words can't bring us down, no. We are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring us down, no, no. So don't you bring me down today. Oh, don't you bring me down today. Hey, don't you bring me down today.
So take that, Christina Aguilera. So fabulous. Fabulous. Thank you. Be very proud of yourself. I'm sure you are. Yes, so. Right? Yes. Just fabulous, fabulous. And that journey of, for all of us, we all have those moments in life where we're like, WTF, how did I get here? Like what, in this moment, like what's going on, right? In ministerial terms, WTF means why the face. So, like, how did I get here? Why the face? The face of concern. Needed to clear that up. But that speaks to exactly what I want to speak to today. In the month that we're now in the month of March, where our theme is it's healing time. It's healing time, baby. Yeah. Meaning that our journey on this planet as we navigate our humanity, doing everything that we can to reveal our divinity in its most prominent and dominant way, if possible, is really about the act of healing. And it's the act of healing of accepting the power that is within us in a greater way than ever before, and then using it. And then allowing the divine, if we're but willing to trust it enough, to do this. We just witnessed this through Emily, right? Where you open up, and in as much as I had put her on the spot, yes, and I apologize for that. It's kind of my innate nature. But what you allowed to happen through you is the gift and the talent that the divine has imbued you with to let it shine. We had just spent energy calling in the light. Yours was sparked and you let it shine, right? And so I thank you for sharing that with the universe and yours as well. When Yaron and I were speaking of him booking today, and we had booked him, I'm like, well, we needed a singer. And he's like, well, I'm kind of out of that biz of booking singers, right? And I was like, oh, but the universe has one for you, I know. And he came back, he's like, no, I really don't have those connections. And I went back and I'm like, oh, but the universe will provide it for you, right? Isn't that what I did? And, but boom, 2 showed up, right? So we're so blessed to have the one that did show up today. So Emily, but that is a reminder for each and every one of us that there is that within us that is ready to bring forth that which is of a higher vibration. I think we can all agree that when the physical body steps into healing, what is taking place is a higher vibrational frequency, that of perfection, is making itself known through us. We've all had the experiences of physical healing, right? Whether it's been a cut on the finger while cooking some stir fry and it gets better, or a nick in the pedicurist chair, or whether it's been a car accident or something that's been deemed as a terminal illness of cancer and no longer that exists for that individual. We all have variations of that healing. I'm going to speak more today about the healing of our awareness than I am of that in the physical sense. Healing is an inside job. Dr. Jim Lockard, many of us who know Dr. Jim Lockard, wrote this: healing, an inside job. True healing involves mind, body, and soul. Healing is essentially a return to truth. This means to move back into alignment with our deepest truth, the perfection of being. The manifestation of health, or any good, is the result of the development of a consciousness of receptivity to health or any other good. It's a consciousness of receptivity to peace. It's a consciousness to receptivity to abundance. It's a consciousness to a receptivity that we each have within us, the completeness and the wholeness and the perfection as the divine, that is then our foundation that buoys us so that we feel confident in how we express our humanity. That's a big statement, right? Pretty brilliant too, if I might say so. Did anybody write it down? Oh no, we have it recorded, right? What's important for us to remember on this journey is that ours is to continually fine-tune our consciousness, fine-tune that receptivity, that willingness to be open to receiving the good that is there inherently for us. Dr. Jim goes on to write that we develop that consciousness by directing our thoughts and feelings towards an expectation of good. How often do you navigate your life in a state of expectation of good? He says here, once again, that we develop that consciousness by directing our thoughts and feelings towards an expectation of good, and we do so often enough and powerfully enough to bring about that expectation in our subconscious mind as a belief system. In other words, that our foundational belief system as we navigate life is that what we expect in our life is good. Good. The question is, do you? And can you answer that question without judging yourself? Just as a sense of inventory or an awareness. Let's look at what an expectation is. It's defined as the act or state of expecting or looking forward to an event as about to happen. Imagine going through life with a state of mind expecting that healing is happening always. That every element of our life individually, and because we're all connected in consciousness and consciousness magnifies itself, that as we move about life itself, we are agents for healing. Yes, exactly. We are agents for healing. Well, how do we do that? How do we move through life with an expectation of that without being attached to how and what that's going to look like? Because that's the key to a healthy state of mind in living an expectation. To do it without being attached. It's quite a conundrum, in fact. Well, Deepak Chopra tells us in the book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, about this. And he doesn't talk about it from the sense of attachment. He talks about it from the sense of detachment. He says the law of detachment says that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This doesn't mean that you give up the intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. Now that's a very heady concept. In old school metaphysics, it was us affirming that the power of God is a bringing something into my world that is equal to my consciousness or more. This and more. I liked that in the 20th century, as a metaphysician in the 20th century. But I think in the 21st century, how about we take any measurement off of it at all? Why does it have to be better or more? Why can't it just be a reflection of our divinity? That if we trust that the wisdom of the divine exists within us as a quality, and that we are perfect, whole, and complete as we are, as divine beings, then our role in life as we develop our consciousness of expectation that healing is manifesting itself through us, then it makes sense to me that the revelation of that wholeness, which is what healing is, will bring forth to me, the individual, a reflection of that state of being, and its innate nature is of perfection and wholeness and completeness, and imbued with the qualities of peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. And so therefore I need not place any judgment or assessment on it, because who am I to judge or assess that which is already perfect and whole? Hallelujah, amen. Could be easier said than done, though, because we're contemplative, conscious beings, and we're constantly using our mind. And so the key then is to become aware that we're consciously using our mind and use it effectively in a way to engage in the very thing I was just talking about as the act of healing. He tells us, Deepak, giving up our attachment to the result is a very powerful thing to do. The moment we relinquish our attachment to the result, combining one-pointed intention with detachment at the same time, we will indeed have that which we desire. He goes on to say, anything that you want can be acquired, in other words, revealed, through detachment. Because detachment is based on the unquestioning belief in the power of your true self. What is an example of your true self? I am beautiful in every, what's the rest of the word, lyrics? Right? That is an example, thank you, of the power of the true self, of affirming and knowing and letting that within us that knows that it knows that it knows that I am indeed beautiful. And that has nothing to do with my physicality, by the way. It has to do with the energy by which I express the divinity. He goes on to tell us, and when I say I'm speaking the I am for each and every one of us in the room and that is watching this live and at a later date, that you all are aligning with that as well. He goes on to write, attachment, on the other hand, is based on fear and insecurity. And the need for security is based on not knowing the true self, uppercase S. The source of wealth, of abundance, or anything in the physical world is the self. Now hear that again. The source of wealth, of abundance, or anything in the physical world is the self, the divine, the light, the thing itself. It is the consciousness for each of us individually that knows how to fulfill every need. Take a moment, literally, and connect to that place within you and open up to that there is that within us right now that not only knows how to fulfill every need, but to frame it in language as humans we can understand, is sitting there yearning to do so. Its innate nature is to incarnate. Literally, that is its nature, to incarnate. So knowing that wouldn't it be logical that we guide it, since we have the capacity to, in essence, guide it through our thinking and beliefs and actions and reactions and interactions in life, that we frame our part in that in a way so that when it fulfills the needs, it does so in a state that is reflective of its innate nature, thus bringing us more joy, more peace, more power. You get it, right? Living from that state of mind, that way of living, that way of being, is living by knowing it's healing time, baby. It's healing, the revealing of the oneness. But it's healing time with expectation and without attachment. The conundrum. So the question then is, what is ours to do? Well, first and foremost, ours to do is to believe that it's possible. The first thing to do is to believe that living this way of life is indeed possible. What's possible? Well, some things that are possible is to believe and know that healing indeed can happen. The revelation of the wholeness as well as physical healing. To believe and know that I am worthy, I, the individualized expression of the divine, of that healing. Inventory, self-inventory check. Do you believe you're worthy of that? If not, begin to foster that belief system today. To begin to believe that I, the individual, has the power within to reveal that healing. And last, that it will indeed do the work. It does the healing. We're just by means the avenue, the vessel in which it takes place. Changing our beliefs. We spoke earlier of affirming them out loud, of singing them, about responding to applause that's also affirming our good. In this teaching, one of the things that I resonated with early on is what's called the Declaration of Principles by Ernest Holmes. And when I got into this philosophy in the early 80s, and many other of the churches around our country at the time, as the service would begin on Sunday morning, we would stand up and affirm these Declaration of Principles out loud. And they're heady, and they're lofty, and they're broad, and they're a little intense at times. But it was done for the purpose of us reframing our thinking individually, realigning ourselves with what we are telling ourselves that we believe is true and possible in life. And every time I hear them and speak them, it stirs emotions within me because of the journey that I've been on in such a wonderful way in my life. But also, I think of those individuals that began to tune into this way of living in the late 18th, 19th century, really, and then those that were on this path of new thought in the early 20th century. And what it must have been like to have declared and affirmed that which was so contradictory to the world in which they lived at the time, and yet not so much in the modern world today. But he wrote these declarations of principles, and I'm going to read them quickly for us to put it in the context of healing. He wrote what we believe, and it's we believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It's the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. And here's the one, drum roll please. We believe in the healing of the sick and the control of conditions through the power of this mind. Ernest and his wife Hazel. Tell it, baby. no matter how big and broad these are and somewhat potentially overwhelming for each of us, what it reminds us is that we are imbued with this power to invoke change in our thinking, ultimately changing the conditions in our life if we but believe it's there. And I don't mean there as in outside of us. It's there within us, and it's everywhere. We get to make a decision if we want to step into the act of healing by changing our beliefs. Gordon Hinckley tells us to believe in yourself. Believe in your capacity to do good and great things. Believe that no mountain is so high that you cannot climb it. Believe that no storm is too great that you cannot weather it. Believe in yourself. Because it's healing time, baby. Why does that matter? And what is ours to do, and what is it that we're to be open to? Well, let's look at healing from the concept of the definition. In the traditional definition, healing is defined as the process or making or becoming sound or healthy again. We all have the opportunity each and every day to ask ourselves, where in my life can I be healthier? And obviously I'm speaking of whether to drink 3 milkshakes versus 1, or a bag of chocolate chip cookies, or eating red meat, or whatever, right? Whatever we're all doing that we shouldn't be doing in a non-healthy fashion. But it's more than that. It's how am I using my mind, my soul, my body? And in this philosophy, faith, and way of life, if we believe that everything in life is a result of what takes place mentally, then obviously the healing that is being called for is that of the mind, not saying that our mind doesn't have within it perfection, wholeness, and completeness. But as humans, as I said before, that are contemplative beings using our minds, sometimes erratically, sometimes purposefully, sometimes both, we get to ask ourselves, how do we want to use that muscle, our mental muscle, in a way to develop and strengthen our spiritual musculature so that our physicality reflects that. Divine healing, if you will. Divine healing is the next layer of that definition, and typically it's used in the Christian way of living, but it refers to the belief, as we speak of beliefs, that this power, God, and if you don't like that word, use another one, heals people through the power of the Holy Spirit. That essence of life that we called in earlier, that exists within us, that's always there for us. Divine healing means the restoring of health through the direct intervention of God. Now, as I spoke of last week, I don't believe that God comes and intervenes, right? We don't need an intervention in our life. But what it's speaking of metaphorically is this opening. When we open our mind, it appears that the power presents itself even more. But all that it does is it makes itself known to us in a way that we didn't know it before. We're really speaking of spiritual healing in the sense that spiritual healing is a divine act of the love that comes from this power. And love not as a human emotion, but love as the self-givingness of the Spirit whose desire is to create more of itself out of itself. And the only way it can do that is through you and through me, through our thinking and through our acts and through our interactions and reactions with life itself. Today, we each have before us an opportunity as we continue on this journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening to make a covenant, to make a commitment, to make a decision to alter certain beliefs in our lives so that ultimately good may propagate itself out of itself through us more and more and more. Why is that? That is because we are thinking beings. And the thought is there waiting for us to tune into it of a higher vibration. Holmes tells us that because thought is made of the stuff that forms the universe into definite creation, the law of life is charged with the power that we give it. No more and no less. It responds by correspondence. It's a mirror and a perfect one. It molds our ideas and our beliefs into visible form and casts them back multiplied. It does not know that it's doing this, but it knows how to do it, and it does it. This is one of the great enigmas of the universe. Eric Butterworth tells us when we use the word universe, we're not just referring to that vast cosmos of galaxies out there. For all that is simply the accumulation of an infinite number of other worlds. No, we are using the word in a more transcendent sense. The word universe, in its literal meaning, is the whole of things. WHOLE. You are one with that wholeness, and so am I. And its nature is of pure potentiality. And so today, as we continue on our journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, opening up to healing time, then it's important for us to open ourselves up and let the power of the divine guide us as to what's being called forth to be healed within us. Let's let go of the need or the necessity to think that it's ours to fix. Because where we're tapping into ourselves, there's nothing to be fixed. It's already there. It's already whole. So I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, let's breathe in together. 1, 2, 3. Hold for a moment and exhale. Just letting go. We inhale again. 1, 2, 3. Just feel that tension as you hold your breath. Feel the tension. It's a reminder of the power that you have within you. Now exhale. That power that resides within us is the wholeness. It is the eternality that is doing its thing through us. And so in your mind's eye, as you look into the back of your eyelids, that place called the optic screen, see these words show up. I am receptive today to the power within me revealing itself in new and wondrous ways. Because its nature is to incarnate, I expect more good in my life. And as this good shows up, healing's happening, baby, in my life right now. And because I know that I am a being of wisdom and faith and conviction, I detach from any previous attachments I've had as to what this must look like and feel like. Just as the song says, I release and I let go. And I let the Spirit run my life. And it does. So we inhale again and exhale, letting it be. Saying together, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. This is that time in the service where I've informed Emily and Yaron, you never know where it's going to go, right? So if you had another song, do you by any chance or no? You can? All right, so they're gonna follow the spontaneity and sing another song for us.
Feel free to join us, please.
When you're down in trouble and you need a helping hand, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night.
It's you guys, come on.
You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running
Just
to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall,
all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will.
you've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud.
And soon you'll
You'll hear me knocking at your door.
You just call
Call
out
out
my
my
name.
name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running
To
see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there.
You've got a friend. You got a friend.
Ain't it good to know you got a friend?
You got a friend.
You got a friend.
Yes. Thank you for trusting spontaneity.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing. Always a good thing. So now is the time in our service that we get to support our community financially. And just know that all that you give and honor by way of giving is appreciated and honored and acknowledged. It's indeed sacred circulation, consciously living in the flow. So in the book of the Bible from Matthew, it says, to be a good giver, you must be a good receiver. Freely you've received, and so freely we can give. As Jesus so freely and spontaneity walks around the room. Feel free to support financially there, as well as you can go to our website, CSL-LA.org, and click on donate, or go to the app in the App Store. I'll let Sherry have her moment while I just wait for a second. Okay, Sherry. All right, so the love in me honored the love in you in that moment. So thank you all for supporting us financially. To complete what I was saying, so the options are you can go to our website, CSL-LA.org, and click on donate, or go to the app in the App Store and click on that as well. And so let's just affirm together that as we give, As we give, the good of the universe multiplies and returns to me multiplied abundantly. For that I'm ever so grateful, and I consciously give from that place and say thank you. And so it is. And so it is. Yeah. So just to give a couple of updates, we will continue being here once a month in person. I started to say in purpose, but it is in purpose, in person, right? And know that you're all honored and welcome. Our next in-person service will be Easter. Easter. We have a big day planned for us. So we're going to add chairs, and we would love to put butts in those chairs. And we'd love for you to support us in that. So please bring people if you're around that day. We have a big musical presentation happening, don't we, Yaron? And he says, yes, because he's created. He just doesn't know what it is yet. So. But spontaneity is the key, right? So please make your plans to do that. We will continue the other Sundays of being on Zoom and on YouTube, right? I'm going to float out there. I've been thinking about this, and I have yet to say this out loud to anyone, so we'll see how your reaction is. That we move all of our services to 10:30. Any thoughts on that, even online? So we're going to know in the next couple of Sundays that will be the case. Just keeps it simple, all in the same line, right? So it's just, I was thinking about this last night as people were freaking out about turning their clocks, right? I understand that, but don't most of us live in a world where the clocks change themselves? Just my own personal moment. But as I was changing the one clock in my house, because the rest are all governed by Steve Jobs, I thought to myself, this just goes to show each and every one of us how time is a human concept, right? This is an example. All we gotta do is go on our personal devices and see all the different time zones to remind us that that's the case anyway. Be that as it may, you brought that up, the time. So anyway, we move on. So time, 10:30. So we'll share that with the world. Know that that's gonna happen. Where am I going with this? Okay, our week ahead. Midweek morning meditations. We'd love to have you join us. It's at 8:30 on each and every Wednesday morning. It's a 20-minute window of great meditations, great facilitator, it's really good, and it's me, and so they're really good, and there's also a library of those if you'd like to listen to them or watch them. We prefer that you listen to them. It's 8:30 in the morning, not looking our best, any of us. But feel free to check that out in our library on Facebook, right? We also have past services that can be accessed, I think, through YouTube and our website, which is CSL-LA.org. As well as you can use the app in the App Store. Each and every morning at 7:30, there is a new thought text for the day that goes out. It's a maximum of 320 characters, and it's just a zhoosh, right? How to start your day. It's really great. I don't know how you all have it set up in your phone. I'll send this out again, but I've advised in the past that you actually set it up so that the number, the name of the number that comes to you reads a new thought for the day. So when it pops up on your phone, it goes, a new thought for the day, and then there's the content. Okay, I think some of my caffeine just kicked in. All right, so it's really spirit. So a big thank you to all of you for being here today. Know that you're honored and appreciated and loved, just as you are in this very moment. And that's for all of you in the room and all that are watching, no matter where you may be. A big thank you to Robert Hensley for constantly taking care of us through social media, as well as our administrative assistant. A big thank you to Travis Smith in the back for guiding us with our audio, as well as he's got 3 laptops open back there, and he's working them all 3 of them. So thank you, Travis, for all that you do. A big thank you to Yaron Spiewak, right, for being here today, for being back today, and know that you've landed back in the land of LA, right? And we'll just let that
be here for a while.
I was going to say, we'll let that be what it is, right? Back in the land of LA for a while. And thank you so much for opening up to let Spirit guide you to attract into your world Emily Golia, who's just so fabulous. Fabulous, and love having you here today, and would love to have you back. I hope that you're open to that. I want to take a moment and acknowledge our one and only Andy Belling, who's in the back of the room, one of our other musicians, and we love Andy. So I just want to thank our board of trustees. Jesus Ernesto Reyes and Reverend Lenore and I had a day yesterday, and we'll just let it go with that. Went to do some training that's in the benefit for all of us. But I just want to acknowledge our board members that work so diligently and hard here to make things unfold in the greatest way possible. So thank you all for that. All right, so let me check in. So I'm going to close with a quick meditation. You guys are going to reprise your song, right? All right, does that sound good to everybody? Oh, by the way, there is coffee and water in the back where our service is back. There's not the fudge things that you all freaked out on in a loving way and gorged yourselves on last time. But today there are little cakes and cookies that are there, and you'll see what they are when you get there if you want to chew. If you want to chew to your heart's content. But please take the time out there to get to know one another, and thank you for being here. You're welcome. So, can I have just a little music, please? So let's just affirm together, whether it's our first time here or we've been here hundreds of times, that we are in the right place. What that means is that we are tuning into the awareness of having receptivity, that the power of the divine is guiding us on every step. We began this service today by calling in the light. It's represented by this flickering flame of the candle. In a moment, I'm going to extinguish this flame, and as I do so, it's going to ignite within you. And I allow you to be receptive to that as a metaphor for the light in you being ignited and sparked in a new way. And as you navigate this day and this week, your life before you, give yourself permission to turn inwards and see the light. And then open your arms, open your eyes, open your mouth, and let it shine, baby, let it shine, let it shine, because you are worthy of all the good in the universe. It's healing time right now. You ready? It's in you.
If you want to know why, there's a love that cannot lie. Love is strong, it only cares for joyful giving. If we try, we shall see. In this bliss we cannot feel fear or dread. We stop existing and start living. Then it feels that always love's enough for us growing. Make a better world, make a better world, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. You and for me. You and for me. You and for me.
Peace out.